Hello and welcome back to Datafied YouTube channel. We will continue with our metric creation and generation in this video. This is the fourth part of this video on our hotel data analysis. So in this video, we want to create the metrics on the customer profile and experience. We're creating the repeat guest ratio, the average number of guests per booking, the average special get request per booking, and the customer type distribution. And the formulas are all presented here. So let's head on to Power BI to get started. The first metric that we'll be creating in this section or in this part of the video will be the metric on the customer profile. The first one is going to be on the repeat guest ratio. But before we continue, I have not saved my file. If anything should happen to this computer, I'll lose this file, and that will be really sad. So let me click on save to ensure that this is updated. Great. Okay, let's get our metric up. I'm going to calculate while we're again. Let me confirm the total guests, right? We're calculating the okay. I want to calculate the repeat guest ratio, but before we do that, we need to start by calculating total guests. So in fact, I can use a variable to do that. Let's just go ahead and calculate the repeat guest ratio right away. Repeat guest ratio. So here I call this the repeat guest ratio. That will be equal to, all right, so let's get some variables. We start by calculating the total guest. So total guest will be equal to let's do a sum x of so I'm summing the values on what table? From the hotel booking table, which is the what's it called? Hotel what do I call that again? The fact table, hotel table. And we are adding the column that has the adults. I think you have a column called adults. Yep, adults. And we'll be adding the children, the column that has children, and we'll be adding the column that has babies. Beautiful. So these three columns, the summation of these three columns will give us the total guests per booking. All right, the total guests per booking. Next, we want to calculate the repeat guests. The repeat guests, there's a column called is repeat guests, I think. So from that column, we would have used the calculate function to filter through, do a count of those number of repeat guests. All right, so let's do that real quick. I'll declare a new variable called repeat guest. So the repeat guest to be equal to let's say calculate of what? Count rows. Calculate count rows of the hotel data. Here we go. And I'm doing this based on is repeat is, I thought there's a column called is repeat or repeated. Where's my repeat? So let's quickly confirm the name of the column again. I thought a column called is repeat guests or thereabouts. Let's confirm the column from our hotel data. Let's check what it is called. What is it called? Okay, is repeated guests. So it's called is repeated guest. Is so why am I not seeing that column? Is repeated guest. Is underscored repeated. Okay. Let's say hotel. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Oh, I see. So the reason why it's not popping up the correct column is because I'm doing a count row of the hotel data. I'm supposed to close that bracket and go out of that bracket to check for my is repeated guess. So that's it. So that was the reason, that was the error I was actually making earlier. So is repeated guess equals one. I think, is it one? Please let's quickly confirm to see. I think during our data cleaning process, we changed this to repeated and not repeated. Let's confirm. Let's check from our table to ensure that we have the right entry or right categories under the calling code is repeated guest. Oh, okay. So we have we called it new guest and repeated, right? Repeat guest. So new guest and repeat guest. So that means where is repeated guest equals repeat guest. Where's my metric? Where is the metric? Where is the metric? Here. Here we go. Equal to repeat guest. Yep. Equal to repeat guest. Then we will go ahead and declare another variable, and we will call this variable the ratio. So the ratio will be equal to divide. So I'm going to be dividing. What am I dividing now? I'll be dividing the repeat guests by the total guest. The repeat guest by the total guest. So divide repeat guest, repeat guest by the total guest. Repeat guest by the total guest. Yep, here we go. And close the bracket, and then we return ratio. Okay, so that's it, return ratio. And with this, we have our function, created. Hit enter, then we have our function created. So to view the function that we've created, let's insert a card as usual. Then we go ahead and check on repeat guest ratio. We have 0.02. This is the repeat guest ratio. We can view this ratio in percentage by formatting the view in percentage. So the view ratio is 2%, 1.86%. And we can actually convert this to one decimal place or change it to one decimal place. But that's fine. All right, the next metric will be the average number of guests per booking. All right, the average number of guests per booking. And to actually check the average number of guests per booking, we would need to calculate the total number of guests per booking and divide that by the total booking that we have. Yeah. And so don't forget that there are three columns that hold information about guests, which is the column for the number of adults, children, and babies. So let's do this. We call the average number of guests per booking. Average guest per booking. All right, so this will be equal to the average guest per booking. That is equal to, we'll do, let me confirm again. Average guest per booking will be the total guest divided by, so I will have this as I think, okay, so that is going to be total guests should be equal to adults. Okay, we're doing are we doing a sum? Yes, let's do a sum x of the hotel data, and we'll be summing the adults column plus the children column plus the babies column. That's it. Then I'll declare another variable which I'll call, okay, I think we have the total guess. Yes, I'll just call this what do we call this, avg. AVG guests. Let's say average guest equal to, I'll be dividing the total guests that we just calculated here by the total bookings. Total guests by total bookings. Then we will return the AVG guests. I'll return the AVG guests. So that's it. So this is going to give us the average number of guests per booking. All right. Let's also display this on the card. Choose my card, and where is it? Average guests per booking, and we have 2.02. So the average guest per booking is 2.02 because we're dealing with numbers of people. We would make this have, zero decimal place, which means on the average, there are 2 guests per booking on the average. That's what it means. There are 2 guests per booking on the average. What else do we have left? The average special request per booking. We want to know the average special request per booking. So we'll start by calculating how many special requests. Do we have a column that talks about the special request? Let's check from the table view. I think there's a column that says is special requests. We saw, okay, this is total of special requests. Total of special requests. Do we have anyone that has is special request or not? And that column seems to be a numeric column. Total of special requests, which is this column, total of special. So it means that we have total of special requests per column. So what we'll do is to get the average special request per booking. What we'll do is we're going to take the total special request divided by the total booking that we have. All right, total special request divided by total booking. So that makes sense. That will give us the average of special requests that we have in this data set. So let's actually move this somewhere. Okay, good. So right click on metrics and add new measure. Right click on metrics and add new measure. So what are we to calculate again? The average what? Let me confirm the average special request, average special booking, average. Okay, it's another. Also declaring some variables. I want to declare a variable for what's that? Total special request. Total special requests. So total special request will be equal to the sum of the special requests. The sum of total special requests per booking. That's it. And then we can go ahead to calculate the average by dividing this total special requests. Okay, let's call this AVG special. Let me just put AVG special equal to divide. I'm dividing the total special request by the total booking metric that we've calculated already. Then we're going to return the AVG of special, and this should be the answer. Once we load this, we'll get the average special request per booking. Let's visualize this using a card. The average special request per booking. I think here we go. So we have the average special request per booking. That is about 0.69 average special request per booking. Yeah, so this is approximately one. So we can, since it is a number of requests, we can't have decimal places number of requests. So we have to make this guy become of 0 decimal place, and that is going to be approximately one special request per booking. So on the average, there is approximately one special request per booking per booking. Okay, so which other metric are we to generate? All right, so I think this is the last metric we're to generate here, and that is the customer type distribution. Well, this is going to be answered with a what's it called? With a chart. So customer type distribution. So we're just going to do a number of, maybe total number of customers or total number of booking, and then we distribute it over the count of the customer type. So that is what is going to happen right away. So in our next video, when we start our visualization, we would also consider that part. So I think we've generated a couple of metrics that are useful. And with this number of metrics that I've generated, I would go ahead with the dashboard creation. And should there be a need for me to create other metrics that we have for sections 5, 6, and 7 as presented in my document, of course, I'll do that. But for now, let's stop here. I believe we've learned a whole lot from this video about creating metrics generation, tailoring it directly to the need of the business or to the need of the problem statement. All right, so I'll see you again in the next video where we'll start, with our dashboard creation, putting things together and ensuring that the dashboard looks good at the end of the day. All right, have a wonderful time. See you again in the next one. Goodbye.